Well, it's like, recently I just started thinking about this and it came out too that, you're looking through, say you got a water leak or something like that. You're looking for a local plumber or you see something crawling around. You want to have somebody, like a, somebody come in and deal with the possible pest and stuff, pest control and all that. And you're calling somebody you think's local. Turns out it's actually probably owned by a major corporation.
which is a private equity
Yeah.
like BlackRock, Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're creeping into the communities now because what they figured out is they can only offshore, put so much stuff overseas. And what they got together as a group and said, what can would they had a brainstorm or brain whatever and said, well, we can go into the communities and we can take over
All the different
plumbing, we can take over HVAC, we can take over heating,
right.
and we can and they have a monopoly.
Right. It's like, and another thing is too, yeah, exactly what it is. I mean, you won't be able to get better pricing. There's no competition. They're going to seal off and they're going to keep on buying all the possible competitors and put them on the umbrella, or they might let them keep the same name, thinking you're going to, something legitimately, independent, and it's not. I mean, they did that years ago with the funeral homes. I
Yeah,
mean,
and the scummy part about it is they'll have somebody go posing as a local person that wants to buy,
mhm.
and then they'll buy it, and then they'll sell it back to this corporation.
Right. They'll have somebody do all the paperwork and look like legitimate transfer to a, individual. Hey, I got stories I could tell you off camera that I still might impact on other people, so I won't say and mention it here. But that's what they did to like a lot of business I knew. A couple of businesses did around here back in the '80s. They had,
Well, look at the pharmacies.
yeah,
I mean, they made their money on the pharmacies, but now their mom and pops are starting to come back. But I know a pharmacist that because I worked at a bank at a Kroger, they bought him out and had him sign a non-compete.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
they.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what they do.
So yeah, they did that at the pharmacy we had up here in the corner. Up was like for
Well,
years.
look,
It's
we had
O'Connor's.
cooks, what did we have? We must have had like
O'Connor's,
five,
Bakers,
five,
Taylor.
five,
Yeah.
five. When we were growing up, we had five pharmacies in this area right here.
Exactly. We had five. Yeah, we had Franklin Pharmacy, we had O'Connor's, we had
Like
all
you
of
said, Cooks, Perry.
Perry, yep, and Baker, and then then we had also Boker had a one over across town, and their family also had a grocery store at one time. But yeah, this is what they're doing.
But they came and they bought these guys out, and they bought their list of people, and then they would go out of business, and then like Kroger came in with their pharmacy all of a sudden. Remember, Kroger didn't have pharmacy at the
No,
beginning.
no,
Well,
they,
Oh no, they didn't for a while.
it's like I don't know if you guys. I know you and I've talked about that guy Grant Harling. He's our licensed pharmacist in 3 states. The guy he's on Instagram. He's on TikTok. I think he's also on YouTube
he's
too.
just a nut job that does stuff. But what we're trying to talk about is private equities come in and buying these people out.
No, that's the point I was going to make with that. He's been encouraging people to go to independent pharmacies because he said you could get better pricing there too. You could get better pricing, and you got more control of, especially if you're paying out of pocket. So I mean, it's something to look into people, and just don't think it's something that because the name hasn't changed doesn't mean it's somebody local still
But
owning
the
it.
crappy thing about it is you can't find out because there was a bill in Congress that almost got passed, but these companies have all kinds of money with deep pockets, and they bought out Congress with their lobbyists, and the bill didn't pass. It used to be I think $10,000 maybe it was $100,000 was the threshold. If you're going to spend more than that, then you had to publicly let people know.
Mhm.
They don't have to. They can hide
So yeah, it's
because
just
of Congress. Congress, the same thing. Look what they're doing with Trump. They're not passing anything that Trump's doing. They're not codifying anything.
Mhm.
Oh, but I guess they did do no tax on tips.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's I guess that's a gain. I don't know. Some people were critical of that, but I'm glad for that. I mean, a person struggling, they're working hard, they're working at a job, and they're going to have to figure out taxes for that.
Why should you have to pay taxes on tips? You get paid $2, and I guess they raised it here in Michigan to $2.75 an hour that you're having to pay taxes, and then you're having to pay taxes on tips that you may not even get for that day.
Right. That's basically you didn't actually realize the actual gain on it. Why do you have to pay on it? Well, look at that one bill. That idea wasn't AOC wanted to actually tax people on unrealized assets or something like
Yeah.
that. Ridiculous stuff.
There's not there's not a source of income
Yeah.
that Democrat doesn't want to tax.
It's like, well,
waste
both
money
parties
on
will go along with it, though. Both parties will go
Well,
along
because
with it. Yeah.
BlackRock, okay, because BlackRock and Goldman Sachs actually own every politician that comes through. I know that you and I talk about
Mhm.
all the time. We always have this debate about how the Israel Ming Corporation,
Israel is BlackRock.
they own
Yeah,
it, right.
Israel is BlackRock.
but they own all the politicians. And you're right, they do. They own them because they own them through the different. They own them for their. Once they get in there, it's like the first day they get in, they're always going into for another campaign,
Right.
right? And they're funding their campaign chest.
Well,
That's
I
what
was
they're
looking
doing.
at the other day about who contributes what to APAC. I'm not going to go in particulars because they didn't have them printed out. I don't want people challenging me, but some of these people are getting more from APAC than they would make 2 years for 2 years being a representative or a senator. I mean, this is ridiculous. That is, and it's our money. It's our taxpayers' money rerouted back to these politicians. Because what is this Israelis produce that's like it's actually going to come back to us any form of a income coming for? And it should be, if it's going to be coming back, it should be payments in what we already paid them over the past 60 years, 50 years. But no, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, we got politicians that are up for the highest bidder, man. That's it. And there's nothing, both parties are like that. There's no,
There's not a party that's innocent. They're both hands are dirty.
I mean, it's like, oh, by the way, so what do you think of this? I think it's cruel that Trump, all these people going on about, he's got a 55% approval rating. Now, I don't know which group would actually compile that, but I mean, I think that's pretty remarkable. I don't think I've ever heard of a president just so many days into his new term having that high of an approval rating. Do you?
Well,
remember?
it came about for his Middle East trip.
Yeah.
It came on the heels of that. It was 55% approval rating for what he did over there.
See, that's good because I think that I think he astonished me. I thought he was going to be in line with Israel and belligerently saying, "Well, let's increase the spending for Israel." I thought he was just be writing
Well,
other
I mean,
checks.
look, I mean, he's just back on his trip, and still not everything's ironed out with Iran, and you got Israel want to attack Iran all of a sudden out
Yep.
of the blue for what?
It's like, well, yeah, okay, if we're not going to do it, and I'm getting tired of people saying, I have people call me brain dead because I said they were going to send troops. We're already got troops present, not troops, but we have the military personnel helping Israel doing what they're doing right now. We do. That's not a closely guarded secret, folks. Okay. So I mean, I don't want any troops on the ground. I don't want Americans dying for this issue. I don't. I don't think that's I think it's ridiculous to think we owe this much loyalty to a country that's never produced anything for us.
And then here's something that people are going to beat us up for. Even reading this, the 14,000 Gaza babies face death without aid from the United States or other countries because Israel
It's not letting
is not letting,
formula go through.
letting infant food get through.
Okay.
I don't agree with that one bit. I don't agree with that. They should be blocking that. That's stupid.
I wonder where all these right to lifers are. They like babies in the womb and they like the theoretical. And I agree with that position, but they have a tendency, the right to lifers also have a tendency to be pro Israel. I mean, it's extreme Christian Zionist. There's, it seems that they're almost like fused together at the hip. And I just see a disconnect here. It's hypocrisy, beyond blatant hypocrisy. I guess.
But I mean, you ever seen a mother go, "My baby would never do that"? That's what they do.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what the Zionists do. Oh, my baby, they would never do that.
Yeah, it's like, well, guess what? The body's on the ground. I guess that's all CGI'd, right? Okay.
You can just go and wade through the aftermath on X. X doesn't filter any of that stuff.
I mean, it's like,
You can see it.
and I'm not pro Hamas. That
No.
infuriates me. So you're pro Hamas? No, I'm
No,
I'm pro life. I'm pro life consistently. All right. No, you can't tell me what because they're Arab Muslim babies, perhaps. A lot of those Palestinians are Christians, you morons. I'm sick of it. I am sick of that. We're supposed to carte blanche approve of everything Israel does. I mean, I'm just sick of it.
But at the same time, we're not going to we're not asking for legislation to legislate it on other people.
No. I mean,
No, that's your personal belief
yeah, no, I'm not going to have
as
it.
a Christian.
Right. That's like, I don't see how, okay, with the retrospect, I can't go back and look and see, through a historical lens of how Christianity could have been justified if people were Christian. I don't see how that was possible, but it was. I don't see why somebody didn't speak up before that. I don't see why, the teachings didn't live, but it did. It actually withered away. The Christian teachings did wither away on the idea of, so wide scale acceptance, but it took a gradual time of realizing these are our brothers.
And they said it was going to happen. Remember in the 70s?
Right.
They said it was going to happen. They said exactly what's going to happen is accept that the tolerance is not acceptance, but tolerance is going to turn into acceptance.
And embracing, basically. That's what it is going to be. I mean, it's a slippery slope. I mean, if you try to be compassionate, you're going to find yourself actually in a precarious state because they're always, well, you helped us out on this, you got to allow this and this and this, and before you realize that you have no stance left. You don't have any moral standing whatsoever.
I mean, we're already talking about protecting pedophiles.
Yeah, I mean that's
Uh,
yeah, like what they call a minor attractive or
A
something.
map,
A map, yeah.
minor attracted person.
Person. Yeah, it's like I mean, that's okay, okay. And yet you're really
And
weird.
they're actually using that title and everything.
Yeah. Well, look at they try to transform the straight people into the cis. That sounds I don't know
That
it's
sounds like a growth,
that sounds like a growth to me. A growth
a
to me.
growth that
Yeah.
you would have cut off.
Well,
Assist.
right. I mean, it's like that's exactly right, man. I mean, it's like a cis. I mean, it's like what am I supposed to? Okay, and another thing is too. Gay activists are the ones chose the term gay. We used it, and now they're trying to put a term that we're supposed to be so wholesalely accepting. They're the ones chose gay. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah,
They chose
chose
gay instead of queer or homosexual or whatever or pervert. They said no, we're gay. Well, say people ran with that, but now they want to label you. They want to pathologize you as a straight person. Okay, I mean straight
As a normal person.
is a normal person. I mean, I just think that's like, and another thing is too, all these people have this rancor towards the normal or the what do they call that now? Gender normal. I don't know what they call it. No, gender normative or something like that. They try to villainize that. I mean, everybody came about because of a relationship between male and a female. You know, all these vehement gay activists.
Everybody has a mother and
Father. I mean, your dad might not have been present. Maybe your mom's the one that abandoned the field. But I mean, you had one of each to bring you about in the world, right? I don't think they changed that, right?
But what do you think about the dome, the golden dome?
I'm glad it's
$175 billion. That's not very much if you think about
no,
it.
not as much as we've been spending. How much have we given Israel the past 20 years for their Iron Dome?
Like
Yeah.
400
Yeah.
and something. Well, I mean, in the last 5 years, I think it was $350 billion.
Right. So
And he said it's going to be done within his presidency.
I think it's a possibility because they've already had the basis of it operational.
But we
And
don't
yet
even
he
know
almost-
what technology they have now.
Do you remember when Reagan's proposed that and they called him Star Wars and made fun of him?
Yep.
I think he just simply he was looking at the briefings and he was looking at the technological developments.
Well,
of
it's the
that
same
time.
thing when Trump made Space Force, but Biden didn't deactivate it.
No, it's still there. I mean, I saw people with their on Facebook page that they're a member of Space Force, and I don't know if that's legitimate, but that's up
That
there.
is legitimate.
Yeah, well, but I don't know if that individual is, you know, what I mean, but it could be. I mean, I don't know why you like claiming that if it wasn't legitimate, but
Facebook, it can be anything.
That-
Chad.
yeah, it's like yeah,
You know how they always say what 100% it's true on the internet, on Facebook,
yeah,
signed by Abraham Lincoln.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So also, I think that we should have brought that up too when we were still talking about pharmacies. So Trump was pushing to lower prescription.
Oh, and that's
costs.
such a bad thing.
Yeah. Why is it a bad?
Because they're not going to get the money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you lower the prices 80% on things, they don't have the slush fund anymore.
Yeah, and it's like, did you receive? I mean, I've had friends who's had family members who worked at doctors' offices and hospitals, and they had the drug reps, the pharmaceutical reps come in. Man, they'd come out and give like buy the entire floor, the hospital dinners and stuff like this. Guess what? I mean, if you just stuck with, hey, guess what? We did R&D initially for 10 or 12 years. This stuff seems to be working. So after the 10 or 12 years that we released this, it's been approved by the FDA, which in itself is a mockable process. But anyway, they stuck them with high prices initially to pay back what they already invested in that. At some point, they're going to have to, it's going to be a case of diminishing returns for that investment.
Yeah, but what new drugs have there been in plus?
Not much.
There's nothing.
No, I
There's
mean-
been no real innovation because they don't have to. They have the same.
They rebrand it. with a
Look,
different
they've
name.
been working on cancer for
75 years. And
yeah. They've been working on muscular dystrophy about the same time. There's been no breakthroughs that we know about.
Yeah,
Like,
it would
I
be,
remember back when I was a kid and Jerry Lewis telephone, you always hear, we're almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there.
it was
you
40
know?
years ago. Yeah.
And now, since he's not doing it, you don't even see the anymore. You don't see anything about it. You don't hear anything about
It's one of
muscular
the-
dystrophy.
Yeah, maybe it's maybe a celebrity's got to pick up the banner and bring it back to the consciousness. I don't know.
But the problem is that back then they were close. Back then people were saying we're close to
But they
cancer.
don't.
But nobody wants to get through it because if they cure cancer,
Then they don't make money.
Right, and that's what it
Right.
is. I mean, see, I used to hate them when I first started hearing about the idea about healthcare changes and stuff like that. And single payer and stuff like that. I hated it because of socialism. But I look at the country; it's so willing to send billions of dollars across the world to be engaged in fights, but we don't want to take care of people here who might need help, for medicine, medical things. I don't understand. That's also a disconnect, It's so fun I guess it's fun to kill people. I mean, we can't
Wars make money,
right?
all right?
Well, actually, they don't, but I mean,
No, they do. They make more money when you go to war. It does. It makes money for the politicians. It makes money for the people who are rich. It doesn't make money for you and I.
no,
It makes money for the guys who want to make the money. Okay. For you and I, we don't make the money. For the upper class, it makes them money.
right.
All right. It makes money for the war machines. It makes money for everybody else. That's what they're looking at, right? Helping out across the country and all that stuff. Yeah, if we put in this amount of money, we're going to get this back in return. That's what they look at. That's why we spend all that money in war.
I mean, I just don't see it a payoff that actually helps this country's, standing in the world. I mean, and now even when we go save a country, do they feel appreciated? No,
No.
not very
No,
often.
build
Okay,
their
but
country back up.
when we do have giveaways or help for Americans that need help, like the newest thing, they want to make people work for Medicare.
Mhm.
If you're on Medicare,
I mean, something's going on with you, right?
something's wrong, right?
Right.
Why are you how are you gonna expect somebody to work 8 hours a month to get Medicare when, especially if they're sick?
Right. I mean, it's like you got to
I mean, that you're supposed to be giving it to people that need it, right?
right. It's like it doesn't make sense. We say we are a compassionate country only for other countries. We're not going. We look down on people who receive financial help from the government. From us, the taxpayers. And I don't have a big issue with somebody being on a
No, if they checked all the boxes and they qualified for it, they should get it.
How many friends of
Well,
ours?
that's the first thing all the politicians. We want people to work for Medicare.
Right.
Yeah.
I want you to work for your job.
Yeah. Why don't you? Yeah. We sit there. You sit. The biggest thing you have threat to you is developing hemorrhoids for sitting on your ass for so long, just like cops.
Look at all these pictures now that are coming up of these Congress people sleeping.
Yeah. Well, that woman
Dingle.
Dingle. Yeah.
Debbie
Sandy
Dingle.
Dingle. Oh man, that's ridiculous, man. I mean, was it Sandy or what's her name?
I don't know, Debbie.
Debbie.
But they're all popping
Debbie
up
Debbie.
now of all these Congress people sleeping.
Well, here's a question I have. How can anybody do their job in the cabinet, do their job, when these stupid idiots keep calling them up to the stupid Congress to ask questions all the time? Because Kash Patel is always up there. Christy Noem's up there, all these different people. And all it is I sat there and watched the guy that went over to El Salvador. What was his name? I can't remember.
I can't remember that either.
Van, whatever. But he goes over to El Salvador, right? Comes back. He spent 7 minutes going against Marco Rubio yesterday, right?
Oh, you're talking about the congressman that went down there for the MS-13
Yeah.
person and had a dinner with lunch with
the
him.
guy.
I don't remember his name either. It's not worth even to remember.
Right.
Yeah.
He spent 7 minutes to ask. You're supposed to be asking questions. Doesn't ask a question. He spends the whole time doing filibustering. Gets done, and Mark Rubio turns around and goes, "Well, if you don't want to vote for me, I guess I'm doing my job. If you're ashamed of voting," and then starts laying out different things with them. And the guy's like, no, you can't answer any things. I didn't ask you a question, all this other stuff. And they actually have to shut the guy up and shut him up. And Mark Rubio has to explain to him that a judge does not have authority over the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State does not report to a district judge somewhere in some other
In
state.
Texas or California.
I'm seeing like I didn't know you guys had the power to do this stuff. I mean, where's this at?
And he's like, and he actually says something that's really honestly straightforward. He's like, if I have to report to the media what I'm doing to the guys and talking to an El Salvador person, what ally across this world is going to actually talk to me or enemy talk to me and do back channels?
I don't know. It's just like, okay, Trump had the president of South Africa. And that was it. The president.
President of South Africa.
Right.
And he had. It was devastating what he showed, all the deaths and going
Right.
through. And what do you think the first question an American news reporter had for him?
What's that?
About the plane that Qatar gave to him.
Yeah, I saw that. Man, it was ballsy as hell for Trump to show that video to the guy. Him saying he basically
Well,
wants.
it was bad.
It was bad. He was inciting violence against the white
I'm not
population.
gonna say people were in tears, but you could see it in their eyes that it bothered them.
Yeah.
watching that video.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, what other president would do that? Bringing up what this person
Well,
did,
the
horrible
reason
person.
he did it is to bring it to light and force the media to have to talk about it. But what does NBC want
Yeah,
to? They want to talk about the stupid airplane.
Right.
Yeah. And what does Trump say? I think Trump says the
He
best.
chewed him out and told him he's a worthless reporter and the NBC sucks. And well, he didn't say sucks. He says he's not doing very well in the ratings, and you're part of the reason why.
If we
And he
had,
said, "Don't have this man in here again."
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, I think it'd be better if we just, like we were talking about before, have rotation of people who do are the heavy level podcasters and stuff like that. Them like
They're
rotate.
going to be
and bring 'em in.
thoughtful questions,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
may be more in depth and they're going to be more meaningful.
But it's like they always people overvalue these journalists. They go for especially the Ivy League
I
journalists.
think people are done with them.
I mean, but well, I still get it when the auditors, what they call the frauditors, the guy about First Amendment. I was like, there is a press pass. You can't get in there to high level
Yeah.
meetings and stuff. I said, under the Trump administration,
Because you have
are.
to be checked.
Yeah.
That's all. You just have to have a background check.
Right.
that's it.
And they just don't want to let any person in there. They want to make sure you have a following and everything and to have a credibility on the internet.
Right. But I don't think that's a bad thing. But I mean, it's still more allowance for the First Amendment than it had been in any other previous
Well, the
administration.
stupid thing is AP was running the new. You have AP. Why is AP in charge of all the reporters and going to decide who's gonna be in the news in the
pool.
in the room in
Right.
the pool? Why are they deciding that?
Because it's
And that's what Trump did in McInerney. Is that her? What's her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She came in there and said, "No, we're not doing this anymore.
it's like I mean,
We're taking over and we're going to run it."
see, I think more people should become citizen journalists. I'd love to see that developed even more beyond what it is now to gain respectability. I mean, it is basically it's just a name brand. Like everybody's so impressed by Columbia, Harvard, Yale. Let's face it.
Nobody is
I mean,
anymore.
well, well, I can't say nobody. It still holds weight.
but no, it doesn't. With
No.
who?
Ooh,
Well, I mean, amongst the certain circles, it does.
It's
but-
not
No.
any circle I know.
no circle of anybody I know.
except for
holds-
well, I mean, the people in DC
They want you to think their shit doesn't stink. They've been doing that for years, and people are saying, "No, you suck.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of here. We don't want to listen."
the press sucks right now.
Well, it does. I mean,
And actually, right now, the Watergate thing shouldn't just stop with the politicians that were around Joe Biden for the last 4 years
Mhm.
and the cabinet. It should go toward the press. They are more guilty than anybody else for
Nothing's going to
running.
happen, but
But
they're
you said
living
beginning-
their worst life right now. They're all struggling for eyes on their news.
But
that
you
they're
said
not
something that was relevant when we first started. You said that they were not going to be relevant at the end of this
they're
whole thing.
ruined.
They're ruined after
Because
these
the
things.
first thing, even people you wouldn't expect call them fake news.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just think of people who
So
are
that
so
goes with your thought.
yeah, when people said that when Trump first said they were horrified, how dare he do this? And I was like, well, the thing is, he knows he's not
That
getting a
was the
fair
beginning
shake.
of the end.
He's not getting a fair shake. He's calling them out on that. I mean, they don't want to the press so good about trying to reveal everybody else's secret, but not their own. And that's what it is. I mean, it's all it's a house of cards. All this stuff it's a house of cards. When somebody blows on it, it falls
But I
apart.
mean, but look at these press conferences that McInerney's giving.
Yeah. Well,
now.
good, thorough
They're
ones.
thorough.
Almost daily.
She doesn't put up with crap from
There you
the
go.
peanut gallery. She
She's-
sets them straight right then.
She's really young too, isn't she? She's like,
They're like
She's not like in the
27,
30s.
28.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, 20, really young.
And the problem is if you actually watch how they used to ask KJP stuff, it was
Mhm.
always like, oh, where did you get that dress?
Yeah.
And where'd you get that outfit and all this other stuff? And
Where,
she's so
where did
happy.
that nut go?
Yeah.
Oh, she.
I haven't seen her on.
she's
I
probably
seen her
like-
in one interview since she's left, and she said she's not watching any TV because she didn't want to be depressed.
She's
or anything.
retarded. That's why. She probably doesn't know how to turn TV on.
I just
But-
didn't think much of her myself, but
But that's why Trump actually ran again. He said he didn't want to get it because he wanted to come back and after the regular election in 2020 and shove it up their ass.
Mhm.
I thought that was the best statement ever said.
Yeah.
Because basically it was rigged.
which it just struck me with his very, I should say, bluntness. Okay, I'm a blue collar person. Most of us are from blue collar backgrounds. I mean, I like person who's blunt. I mean, basically, politicians always had this ability.
Yeah, because that's what I want to. Just like when I go to the doctor's office, I want him to cut through the bullshit.
Right.
And just tell me. That's the first thing I said. Just tell me what's going on.
Mhm.
Don't give me all this rigmarole.
Yeah.
Like lead up to it. Just talk to me like a human being.
Right.
And that's what people want.
All right.
They don't want to hear all this doctor speak and lawyers speak. they want the nuts and bolts.
Right, and that's like I just can't believe how blunt he is, and he functioned in a world where he high financial things and stuff like that, and he kept that thing.
He didn't get where he was by being a kiss ass. He was
No.
just straight to the point. What he was thinking and what he wanted done. Some of these decisions had to be made like that.
He spent more time with the guys in the blue collar than he spent with the guys in the white collar.
Yeah, I mean that's what I liked about him. I mean when he was here in Flint back 2024, I don't like campaign sort of things. I don't usually go to them, but the campaign events, I was really impressed by that. It was a sense of camaraderie. Everybody was decent to each other, very
I
respectful.
mean, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
I liked it.
yeah. I mean,
enjoyed
I
it.
enjoyed it. I mean,
I didn't mind getting the sunburn for that day.
No, that was a beautiful day.
More
too.
like a festival
Yeah.
feeling.
It was
Oh,
just
God, it was fun. It was fun. It was enjoyable. And then when Kamala came right behind it,
Mhm.
all the friends I knew that went to it, they said it was crap.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Well, there's another thing is about the left. They're so like they think they're so better, more informed
Well,
than
I think
anybody
they
else.
learned their lesson this time around.
Right.
That shit doesn't work anymore.
This elitism.
We're just coming in because we're Democrats
Mhm.
and you're going to fall in line. It didn't even work with the union, remember?
Yep.
And when they told that union rep, I think it was the vice president,
Sean.
when are you going to get, no, it was his like vice president. When are you going to get behind me and start going out and campaign for me? She expected it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, we know we can depend on you. Even we haven't done anything. We haven't any plans to help you out or your membership up. I mean, we know we can take you for granted. That's what they're saying, That's what
But I even hate to think about that time. It's like it was a bad dream.
the 4 years under Biden. I mean, God, I mean, it's a miracle we
and
get
it made it
wiped
worse.
out.
It was compounded by being in this state.
Yeah.
I
It was,
didn't know how good my brother had it in Texas.
I mean, we got one of the worst. I don't know how she got reelected. Whitmer
I
has got to be
voted
the worst.
for her.
Yeah.
That's why, because she snowed me. I thought she was going to do stuff.
No, I mean, the
first
second
time or
time.
second time?
First time, not the second time.
Yeah, second time. I mean, the thing is, the Republicans
But
don't
there
offer
was
anybody.
nobody to really vote for the
No,
second time.
the-
And they're doing the same thing again. With they're offering up Young again. Nobody's going to vote for you. What's his name? Mike Young?
Paul Young.
Paul Young.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to vote for him.
They bring them up all the time.
It's like
And nobody's going to vote for Tudor Dixon either.
we're gonna have to we're gonna have to go to the Republican friends of ours and ask.
And then what pissed me off is Trump told John, is it Johnson? What is the
Speaker
the helicopter pilot,
Hmm.
the black dude?
Oh,
James.
James.
Yeah,
He told him
James.
that he needs to stay where he's at and not run. No, he needs to run for governor.
Yeah, because we gotta have.
He'd be if anything else, we just need somebody like that.
The reason why I tell them to stay is we got to raise our thin lead in the.
I don't care. I'm thinking about state of Michigan.
Yeah, see, I mean, we had Granholm who was god awful. Snyder was okay, and Whitmer. I mean, the back-to-back governors. I don't think they've done anything. I don't think any of them done anything good, a benefit to the people of Michigan. I don't see if they can. Maybe I'm not fully
I was
aware.
disappointed by Snyder. I really was disappointed by Snyder.
Oh,
He tried though.
yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I can't. It does blur though. I mean, that's the thing is when you get.
Well, I mean, even when you had Republicans in the House, they didn't even support him.
No,
They don't support them. They're more rhino than anything.
Well, that's the Michigan Republicans on a tendency to be the. I mean, they should just go to leap over to the other party and clear the field for rural Republicans. But
I sat there and listened to a lot of them speak one time. I'm like, oh my God, what am I listening to? A Democratic Party with just the name of Republicans.
that's what it is. I mean, they're rhinos. I mean, in the name only.
But I mean, what's nice is we might have a decent pope.
yeah.
And his brother is funny as all get out.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I think he's kind of like shining this limelight. I mean, I think he's doing. Really
I think
well.
he's helping.
Yeah, I do too.
At least in the United States.
His brother's a MAGA. His brother is a MAGA, and Leo is leftist.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is,
Well, you have to be a little bit leftist
To be-
first.
it's like
You got to be at least centrist.
Yeah. I was gonna say, especially one thing is encouraging. He wasn't a Jesuit. The Jesuits are
No,
They're
he's
the
actual
left-wingers.
Catholic.
Right.
yeah. He's
A
a
real Catholic.
he's an Augustinian, which is more rigid, far more rigid than the Jesuit. The
I mean,
Jesuits.
the first thing he comes out and said,
I'm keeping an open mind with this guy.
behind the family, man
Yeah.
and woman.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Francis
Yeah,
was.
he did. He did come behind and say that.
Yeah, see, Francis was this. he just tried to be like everybody's favorite uncle, and I just
I
think
didn't
it's,
like him from the beginning.
I never did like him. I never did. I mean, I'm not glad I'm not Catholic. I mean, but I mean, I got a lot of Catholic friends, and they didn't say much. That's the reason I couldn't be a Catholic, because I mean, I don't believe in infallibility of anybody, you know. And
Yeah, but I just couldn't. There's something about him that just stirred me wrong every time I saw that guy talk.
well, I think he was so out of touch with them. Another thing, I don't. I think he was really out of touch. I mean, he just
Well, look, what is he, like 78 years old?
yeah, when they put him in, wasn't it? Yeah.
They always put old guys in.
No, it's like, well, this one's like what, 67, something like
Yeah,
that.
he's gonna
Yeah.
63 or something
Yeah.
like that. He's gonna be in there for a while.
We'd hope, because I mean, it's weird though. We do have the one I really wanted was Cardinal Sarah from Africa. That's one I wanted. But I mean, of course, I'm not a Catholic, so I don't weigh in on this. And neither the Catholics. They don't have a say in this either. It's not a
I got a
democracy.
deal from America.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's cool though that he's from America. I guess. I
So
mean,
this guy knows pizza.
he knows pizza. Yeah, sure, a Chicago area deep dish, or yeah.
Yeah, so you'd be over here.
Gino's
getting
East,
pizza.
right now.
You'd be over here getting
I wonder if
pizza.
that's still in business. It's been down there in years, but
So,
yeah.
gas prices are supposed to be going lower down for the first 20 years.
yeah, I mean,
That's going to be good. I mean, they actually are lowering.
Well, they're still doing the friggin' game
Mm.
where they'll lower it down to under $3 for a while, and now it just went by and it's back up above 3.
Right, is it?
They always do
yeah,
it.
they
But
fluctuate.
it's kind of funny where I live. Like, if you go to one spot, it's 319. If you go to the other spot, not even like a block away, it's 283.
I'm gonna. I was like, I was thinking about something when I heard about Callahan Auto Parts or brakes or something like that. You know, he's actually they're on board with what Trump's saying about the tariffs. And
About
first-
Walmart,
about Walmart, yeah.
Walmart, because Walmart is trying to raise prices
Right.
not only for tariffs, not on- Walmart brags that 78% or 79%, you might as well say 80% of the things that they sell in their store is made in the United States.
Right.
So because they're paying tariffs on 20% of what's made in their stores,
They want to raise
they
everything.
want to raise the prices on everything. And Callahan's saying, no, I mean, you're going to raise our, and what John's saying is so funny because of,
First time I heard Callahan Auto, it's a Callahan brakes. I was like thinking, Tommy Boy.
Yeah, I
Chris
saw that.
Farley went.
Well, you were talking about that, so I was like, what?
They channeled him or something? Yeah, Tommy
but
Callahan.
Callahan, it's their brakes that they raise the prices on.
Right.
And again, they're made in the United States.
I mean, yeah, because see, I wonder if that would happen. What if scenario? It probably wouldn't matter. But if Sam Walton were still at the helm, I don't think it would have been so easy to jump on board and just raise the price and everything. I really don't.
No, especially with the rocket profits they made during COVID.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's like they were the only basically store.
Them and
allowed.
Amazon.
Yeah, I mean,
That was it.
and yeah, I mean,
And Kroger.
the ones that had the ability to set up delivery services and stuff.
There's
like
only
that.
the big stores that got to be open. I don't remember any mom and pops being open other than gas stations.
And right now they're taking on Amazon when it comes to selling. Like Amazon's got where people can go on Amazon and sell, their products. Now you can go on a Walmart and sell it to their marketplace too.
And what's nice is in Walmart, if they sell it in the store, you can take it back to the store.
Yeah.
Because I did that with the pair of pants that I bought online.
That's good because it saves time of trying to find.
But if you
Right.
buy it from a vendor,
Right.
I don't even know what the return policy is. I don't even know how you return anything that to Walmart.
You just basically go through and I think they just return it back.
I don't know if it's as easy as Amazon.
I'm not sure.
But speaking of that, there's a company that keeps track of you, of all your returns, and you can be denied Amazon if you have a bad score with that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's been I've heard of that because and then some people had a legitimate complaint, something was broken or damaged or whatever, and they had they're ordering it from a lot of places like a small business themselves, and they would say they got refused service because they kept on turning. They had so many
Yeah.
returns.
Amazon will shut you down. But there's a lot of people that will buy stuff just to use it for that one-time use and pack
Send
it
it.
back up and send it back.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of people.
But I've gotten garbage that I've sent back to Amazon. A lot of the stuff that's what I like about Temu is when you get garbage and you tell them it's garbage, they give you your money back and tell you to keep the product.
like one place they used to do a lot of returns and they actually just put the stuff back on the shelf was Radio Shack.
Yeah.
They turn it. People get something, you'd use it once, like maybe a device or something like that, or an instrument for electronics or whatever, and they'd repackage it back up, bring it back, get their money back. And
They tape it up.
They
They
tape it
tell
back,
it was
yeah.
a return.
Yeah, it was returned, and they didn't lower the price on any or something. But I remember that I bought several things, and I was because we used to have to buy stuff for a U of M too for because I worked in technology field and we'd buy
But if
stuff.
it's still good, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
why
still
can't
good,
they?
I miss Radio Shack. I
Huh?
remember.
I
I
do
miss
miss.
those days.
I love Radio Shack. I did. I mean, you got to go. Nowadays, we got online, so I guess it's not that devastating if you order something within a day or so through Amazon or
Yeah, but it was
eBay.
nice if you needed some kind of part for your stereo back in the day,
Yep.
and you could go through the drawers, or you could bring it in and show it to the guy, and he knew if it was stereo, mono, or whatever.
Yeah,
He gave you the right part.
yeah. I had a friend that would have been excellent at that job because a guy I worked with at U of M. He was like a tech, geek. He knew all that stuff. Yeah, we used to buy a lot of that stuff from from Radio Shack.
Talking about Radio
passports and
Shack.
stuff. Yeah.
Elon Musk calls all of his political donations. He says he's done enough. I
Oh,
believe.
yeah,
I agree with him.
What's it, over 300 million?
$300 million that he gave away. Remember, he was giving away $1 million. He's making people millionaires for just showing up to the events.
Yeah,
I think he's taken enough backlash. I think he's done enough. I mean,
I definitely can't say that nobody can chide him for not doing enough because I don't think anybody else has done it other than Trump and people around Trump. I don't want to gush.
But what was funny is when Trump had the South African president, he said they were talking about he had a bunch of South Africans that were his business friends. He said I would have Elon talk, but Elon's in enough trouble. He might be in trouble with South Africa too.
I love the fact that Trump is like so. That is openness. It's like he's going to just probably skid himself in deeper if he did. But I like that. I like the fact. I don't like I said I was going to say I don't like to gush, but I'm still impressed by Trump's attitude and way he's just forthcoming. Everything this plot here it is.
Yeah, but everything's well thought out. They can't take that away from him. He knew exactly what he was doing. With the tariffs are done, right? They're more or less over.
Yeah.
You're not even hearing about them in the news anymore, and they were supposed to devastate everything, other than the stupid Moody's downgrade.
Yeah. Now, didn't that happen under Obama once? Though the downgrade.
yes.
Yeah.
I think it's happened more than once over the years.
Yeah, it's like Obama didn't care. But they didn't take it out
They
on
didn't
him.
take him. The press doesn't take it out on any Democrat.
No, they don't. Yeah, you could have the same event or similar event happen, and like you hear like big screaming match because it's Republican when it's Democrat crickets, or essentially crickets. They'll mention it. You might be aware of it, but that's it.
Well, what's stupid is, how can you have somebody who's in charge of our money buying our debt?
All right.
How is that possible? Our central bank,
Is buying
the
our
Federal
debt.
Reserve, is buying our debt.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't make sense.
So
to me.
they're buying our debt. So we not only have to pay them for the money that they're making now, but we have to pay them back
And this is
for the debt
That
that they created.
Right.
What
What kind of a world do we live in?
What's like another thing is two people. If you don't know what
Twilight
Federal
Zone.
Reserve is, look at it. It's not federal. Its name is misleading. It's very marginal oversight on their.
It's like five big banks that run it.
And these guys and all that money, the bulk of that money goes into the bank's pockets. Or bank's accounts.
And what's stupid is we could print our own money. Why do we need these bankers to print our money?
Right.
It's our facilities.
It's our facility.
It's our buildings.
We're
It's
paying-
our machinery.
It's everything.
But
about
we're
it.
paying these bankers to supposedly run it.
And the deposit requirements of banks are required to have, the amount of money.
10%.
10%. Let's face it. Everything. If you're dealing with high ticket items and stuff like that, buying houses, that money is coming back and forth. It doesn't even exist.
I've never seen the money.
No, you never see it.
I've never even seen a check. When I bought 5 houses,
It's electronically transferred.
I don't know.
It's just
They said it did.
It exists in digital land. And then they
It's
come
the
on
made up debt that I owe.
and they want to trash crypto. And I have problems with crypto myself, but basically
Well,
what we got is crypto.
I don't like the idea of government getting involved in crypto.
No, I don't either. That's the reason why you're trying to get into
All
crypto.
they're going to do is track it.
Yeah, it's tracking. You say that's what it is. We are the stupidest people on the planet. We wave those flags. We think we're so free. We're not. We're slaves. If they could take what you produce and they take a big of a bulk of it than you can for yourself, you're a slave.
We used to. At one time, we were free. We're not anymore.
No, we haven't because we try to acquire. What we've done is we extended ourselves too much. Try to help the damn world. Our military has put such a strain on the federal budgets and stuff like that because we got to
Okay,
all
but all these deals were
Maybe.
they're not recent.
No,
All this helping the world out is from the 60s and the 70s
right.
that this kept on
We're
going.
perpetuating. It's growing bigger. and
There's
bigger.
no new what philanthropic.
No, I didn't try to apply.
people. No. What I'm saying is it's back when there used to be moderates and people. They didn't argue. Come on, do you remember them arguing like this when you were a kid?
No.
When you were growing up,
No, I mean, I remember
they were
what.
friends.
In fact, they used to go to the press thing together and talk about it. You actually see them
Yeah, I mean,
together.
Yeah, I mean they have press conferences together.
Right.
The Democrats and Republicans.
I mean, well,
Now they want to scratch each other's eyes out for some.
but
It's-
But they go in the same room afterwards after they have this quote fight and then go in the same room and go over.
like 20 some years ago, I was watching C-SPAN. It was coverage of the British, the Parliament. And man, those guys really ripped into each other, but they're very polite about it. My gentleman across the, the way,
Yeah, my
or,
friend,
my
my
friend,
friend.
or whatever. I mean, they're very polite. I mean, they might be like ripping you to shreds, but they're doing it politely. But I mean, it's like, but they had more of that going on than we did. I mean, now it's like, man, they're at each other's throats, and all it is basically somebody calls the other part overly privileged or out of touch, and then there's just argument back and forth. It doesn't substantial things. Doesn't
They don't
address.
debate. When
No.
when is the last time you seen great debate on the floor
I haven't.
Never.
I don't think I ever seen
where
it.
they actually somebody where they're going back because they used to go back and forth where two people would.
I would love to see them actually debate a thing and actually make sense about it versus trying to sit there and get points.
Because they don't know enough about what they're signing
right,
to debate it.
right.
I just
Because someone told them it was a good thing.
Well, like let's face it. I mean, we got the laziest legislatures out there because all these bills, like back to the healthcare bill, back in the the Obama era, they asked John Connors, John Connor from
From
Detroit
Detroit.
area, if he had read through the bill, and he mocked them. They're like, I read through it's over 2,000 pages. Well, if you're not writing it, who the hell is doing this?
Well,
And you want us to vote carte blanche
what was
for it?
Nancy Pelosi's
gotta
You gotta
favorite
pass it,
famous
you
You gotta
gotta
words?
see
pay
what's in
attention
it.
before you read it.
Yeah, before you see what's in it. It's like, it's not a grab bag, Nancy. That's like, I mean, I used to say it all the time. It's not a grab bag. You don't, anyway. Yeah, it's like we don't know the details. We don't care. We got good intentions, and what they say about the path to hell, pay with good intentions. Anyway, more locally, man. Yeah, did you hear like what they want? $25 million for the Flint Spiritual and Social.
Who wants it? I mean, it's all
Well,
in
it's
there.
Neely. It's Representative Cynthia Neely, which is the mayor's wife, mayor of Flint, Sheldon Neely. $25 million for some kind of center for spiritual
And
growth.
don't we have churches?
We have huge churches in this town. I mean,
Why don't they just give the money to them, come up with the program, and let them administer it?
yeah, give the objectives, maybe the curriculum, whatever, what they think is necessary. I mean, 25.
Who knows better, the churches or a congressperson or a state representative?
I think it would probably be the person in
The
the
churches
yeah.
know their community, don't they?
I would say so.
Well, they should, but they don't. The pastors aren't out there talking to people.
Yeah,
anymore.
but they're people. They can ask their people what they
Right.
need.
And then that's another thing. Is like,
I agree. You should go to the churches. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the pastors are not doing their job.
But we don't need we don't need another building.
No, we don't need another bill. I mean, let's face it. I mean, I just think it's money. I mean, they're going to put so much money in the building that very little is going to be applied towards the actual programs.
Right.
I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, not that I think there's something got to be addressed in the city. I mean, there's definitely a sense of psychological.
How about just doing a better job in the school?
Well, another
Why not just make sure that a kid can read?
that's
That would be great.
Well, we wanted to make sure that all genders are included first, though. They just get
Why?
caught on these drifts that don't mean anything. I mean, it's like, let's face it. Our kids, you go to other countries, they can actually do like high level mathematics. Our kids basically can't even read and write comparison. And that's because they said, well, we're just concentrating too much on standardized testing. They got to have some, like yardstick to gauge by. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not an educator. If you are an educator, if you legitimately instead of just name calling, want to say something objective about where we might be wrong at, or you have an issue, if like you tell us what we should be looking for, please tell us. I mean, but I think we're wasting money trying to be all inclusive and all this stuff.
We throw more money on trying to be inclusive than we spend on people being educated and stuff.
But I just don't understand why with all the technology and everything that in the formal years or in the last 4 years of high school should be like a community college setting and that they should be taking all these prereqs. So they should be taking the English. It should be at a college level. It wouldn't be that hard to have it at a college level to teach them how to do the MLA or whatever format to write a report. have the proper mathematics, have the proper biology. This all the prereqs could be knocked out in high school.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then you you just hit the ground running when you go to college.
Why don't you
You
set them for a trade school on top of that? Why don't we get back to
Well, they
trade
took it
spots?
out. Remember, they had auto mechanics. They had wood
Welding.
shop. They had welding. When I
Put it
went
back
to
in.
school,
Yeah, I took
Take that
welding.
25 million, put it back in, bring more money in.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, that's maybe that's a concentration beam, but I just don't. I don't want to. I mean, if, maybe I'm being unfair, but if you're hearing this, Representatives Cynthia Neely, and you want to clarify, give us a call and we can set up a time coming in. Or,
she can do her own news.
but I mean, another thing more I think riveting for us is probably what the Consumers Power wants to get away with and trying to raise our rates again. They want like $58 billion in upgrades, which they've already done a few years ago. They put
Don't-
it
Here in Flint,
In Flint.
Consumer Powers already went through and tore up Flint.
Yeah.
Remember?
Don't even get me started on Consumer Powers. I went 3 days without power because of those stupid idiots last week.
Another thing is too, years ago when they put, it was like 10 years ago, they put a new, pipe into my house, a gas pipe.
Well, no, within the last 5 years, they had everything dug up
Yeah.
around here.
Well, I remember, I don't know how many years ago, but I mean, I remember the guy telling me that was being done by taxpayers' money.
Yeah,
The contractor was doing it because they had
they
something.
were putting new pipes in and everything. And they were hooking up the houses that were vacant.
Yeah, which is stupid. I can understand maybe sure that they got the line, the service going off there is cut out because you don't want to. We did have that before. We had a house explode. We had a gas leak because
Right.
scrappers ripped out the pipes, and
Right.
everybody kept on reporting. They smelled gas.
Yeah, well, that was just down the road.
over here. You have about 4 blocks.
Remember, you
over.
and Larry went and looked at it after it was done.
It destroyed the house it was in. Actually, it moved the house next door to because there was a lot between them. It moved the house would have been 2 doors over off its foundation, so it made it
That was
uninhabitable.
pretty good. Boom.
They thank God nobody was
Because
killed.
the whole basement just filled up with gas.
Yeah, and
Oh Lord.
And they had reported it. They had reported it several times, and they came and brought the sniffer thing, that wand that they would pass around. They said they couldn't find it. And I mean, I guess this must be frustrating for the consumer workers. I don't know, but I think maybe some of them don't care because it's a
I mean, they
depressed
could have
area.
just turned the line off and
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah, that's what I've done. Otherwise, and let's face it, they had to probably pay out a lot of money for the people to relocate from the houses. I mean,
If
I
they
would
did,
if they did. I mean,
didn't we talk to them, the people?
I think we did
We
briefly.
did an interview, but we
Yeah.
had to take all that down because of Larry.
Yeah, because he left when he left the group, he wanted all the videos down, which was unfortunate because we had a lot of good stuff.
Hundreds of videos.
Over 185 that he and I did before we could, you came on board. I think it was over 185. So
Back then, we were a power hitter.
yeah,
I don't know.
We were one of the original OGs on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like we knew all
We
the big
were.
ones. It was fun.
That was a good thing.
It was fun. Like we'd have all these big contributors and they're all get hundreds of thousands of views, and they'd call us like sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning. They would sit there and talk for like 2 or 3 hours. I mean, I
It was
never
a
got any sleep.
community when it first started out. And then when Google took it over, everything just changed overnight.
Yeah, it did change. I mean, they started having all these high standards, and they didn't want this, and I hated it. I like the kind of the frontier feeling, but
Right.
I love that,
Yeah, because there wasn't that much crap. There was
some stuff, not
some stuff was stupid, but
well, that guy
that
Belch in the
wasn't-
alphabet we got over a couple million views, but no, I mean, I enjoyed being a part of that. It was just a fun. Everybody loved it. I mean, people were always calling me up, say, "What's going on with the stuff? Or do you hear anybody from this?" But it was cruel because you're the center of attention. I kind of liked it, I guess. But
I mean, we had hundreds of thousands of views.
right, it was awesome, man. It was incredible. I mean,
They were real views too.
yeah, and the thing is, we did a couple of interviews with people about equal parenting, for example. Fathers basically losing their rights, and they wanted to change that. And I'd get calls 3, 4 in the morning because people forget they're like they're in another state, maybe in California,
Right.
and they're going through I always thought the forensic court thing was a situation just happened in Michigan, and it was all over the place, and everybody had a complaint about that situation. They'd call me, and these guys, some of them feel horrible. They're drunk. They're like, just they can't see their family because they can't make the payments and stuff, and they're just basically venting to me
Asking
about
for
it,
help.
and they're asking for help. I mean, it was cool to be that drawn.
And the
that
same
type.
thing with the flat tax. We
Yeah.
had people calling.
Yeah, we had. Oh, yeah, it was a great era because it wasn't so saturated and you didn't have the polish on
Right.
it. It was more basic, and that's
No, it was like
You could
you
talk
put a
and just talk.
video on and it would just go in
blow up.
however it came out. There was no
You'd have to
algorithm.
It was amazing. It was just I kind of longed for that day, but let's face it, And it was because of Larry Cachetti's instigation. He come approached me about getting on YouTube, and I had heard about it, but it was an amazing time. It was fun. It was groundbreaking, literally. I mean, it was just I kind of long for that again. I wonder what's going to be coming up next. I'd like to be part of that, you know.
Look at there.
But I mean, yeah, of course, it is like we basically get all comments are coming from us is basically we're old guys and we don't know what we're talking about and other stuff. But kind of embrace that. I guess at least they're listening. You know, to some
Hey,
degree.
we're old guys. We'll take it.
Yeah, we are old guys. I mean, you're supposed to hate yourself for getting older. I mean, that's
Well, they
what
call us fat neck, but I think they meant redneck.
yeah, redneck, yeah, fat neck too. I didn't know my neck was any fatter than anybody else's.
Toothless. I got I don't have all my teeth because
Who does? I
I
mean,
had some pulled out. But
I got my what they call it, the wisdom tooth. I got teeth. I never got them in, so
We had ours pulled back then.
maybe I got them, but they just didn't have to pull them. But you know, just
You got yours pulled in boot camp, didn't you?
I got one here and one grew through and he pulled it out.
yeah. But anyway, I just think that it was an amazing time, and I hope you guys have, you know, who's listening, you know, give us some feedback and you know something more other than just calling us names. But I guess that's part of the game. You know, you can't really take it that
It's a
personally.
comment.
It's a comment, I guess. You listened.
Comments are
Well,
comments.
thank you for the time to listen, and thank you for insults. But anyway, that's it's like, gee, if I wanted that many insults to go around a family function, but no, but it's like anyway. Play the music, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's wrap it. It's time to play.